everyone. I'm really honored to be here tonight with all of you. I have to start out by saying that surprising people is one of my absolute favorite things to do. People would probably never guess that I would choose a Fort Minor song as my walk-in intro for speaking in front of 300 people. That despite my baby face, I'm actually 27, and that's my favorite surprise because I get the best stories out of it. Literally last night, I was at a local government meeting, and I befriended this older lady named Frances, very sweet, and the very first thing she said to me was, "You don't even look old enough to vote." Woman after my own heart right there, she was great. People also are surprised to learn that I have 4 tattoos, one that's pretty large, but usually they're all covered up. That I was the president of a sorority of 150 women when I was in college, or that I've been on a hiking trip that included walking almost 60 miles over the span of 5 days and carrying a 50-pound pack on my back. Even I'm surprised I survived that last one, but here I am today. If I would have thought about what my life would look like at this age, I don't think I could have dreamed that I would be where I am right now. Over the last 10 years, I've earned a high school, undergraduate, and master level degree, moved away for college and then to Indianapolis for 2 years, accepted my first job out of college, and then switched jobs 2 more times to very different careers, met the love of my life, bought a house, and got engaged, and most importantly, adopted my fur babies, Winnie and Augie. It wouldn't be hard for someone to look at my life on the surface level and assume that I've had it easy. It's a real flaw in human nature, I think, that we just can't help but compare our lives to other people and assume that the grass is greener on the other side. Even I'm a little jealous of that highlight reel because the true story is a lot more complex. When I think about my first decade of adulthood and independence, all of those incredible ups are marred by the significant downs of losing 3 very important people in my life. In the summer between my freshman and sophomore years of college, my brother died in a motorcycle accident. Billy was mud bogs, lifted trucks, Axe body spray, bear hugs, and throw your head back laughing jokes. He wasn't perfect, and we had a long way to go before we could have really called ourselves friends, but losing him irrevocably shattered my concept of the world and altered my college career. The craziest part was that on a daily basis, many of the people I interacted with had no idea what I was going through. It felt like the elephant in the room that only I knew was there and was terrified someone else was going to accidentally bump into. To this day, my heart drops when someone asks one of the most simple questions you can ask when getting to know someone. Do you have any siblings? Saying yes means either telling this person that I barely know one of the most heartbreaking things that has ever happened to me, which is inevitably awkward for everyone involved, or leave out that detail and hope it doesn't get brought up again. Flash forward almost exactly 6 years to the day when I found out that one of my best friends had taken his own life. Greg was movie marathons, 2 a.m. trips to Taco Bell, back-cracking hugs, and random talks about anything and everything. As many people in similar situations say, we didn't see it coming. There were little signs here and there, but we never managed to pick up all the pieces and put them together until it was too late. 4 months later, the girl who would have been the matron of honor in my wedding passed away unexpectedly. Kate was girl talk, wine tasting, board games, telling it like it is, and living life to the fullest. She was such a bright light that you couldn't possibly imagine being put out, and then she was gone in an instant. The hardest part of losing someone you love, aside from them not being around anymore, is figuring out how to carry the immense weight of that loss around with you every single day. It's the struggle of simultaneously not wanting anyone's pity, but also wanting people to acknowledge your experiences and your losses. It's wanting to tell the person that you lost a story or exciting life news before the crushing reality that you won't be able to sets in again. It's also realizing that not everyone who knew that person is impacted in the same way, and finding the right middle ground between being there for them when they need it and allowing them to figure out how to carry that weight on their own. If there is one small positive that I was able to pull from these experiences, it's that I was forced to take a shortcut to learning some pretty important life lessons. It took understanding that everyone's grief looks different, and that's okay, to understand that everyone's happy looks different too, and that's okay. The moment I finally understood that I needed to find out what my happy looks like was the moment I started really embracing courage in my life. Not to say I woke up and suddenly didn't care what anyone thinks anymore, but I finally started caring about what I think significantly more. So far in my career, I've been a teacher, an administrative professional at a nonprofit, and now I'm a social worker. Each career has been just a little more surprising than the last, and has been met with confusion and apprehension by friends and family. Here's the best way I can think to describe it. When it comes to making decisions, I am much more of an eliminationist than I am an outright decision maker. If you ask me to pick a place for dinner, I am 100% the person that says, I don't really care, and then turns around and says no to the 5 restaurants the next person suggests. So I guess I cared a little bit. My friends have discovered that if you want me to make a decision, you have to give me like 2 or 3 options, and then I can usually pick from there. But having way too many options, I'm completely lost. And in a weird way, that's kind of how I am with my career. If you ever need a little career inspiration, I highly recommend looking up the Purpose-Driven Career Venn diagram. I came across it at a time where I felt really lost in many aspects of my life, a time I affectionately refer to as my quarter-life crisis. The Venn diagram proposes that if you find a job and you love it, the world needs it, you get paid for it, and you're good at it, then you found your purpose. And even though I still feel like I don't know what I want to be when I grow up, I finally felt like I at least know what direction I needed to go in. One thing I can say with certainty about myself is that finding my happy is directly linked to finding my purpose. And I'm willing to embrace the courage needed to keep trying new things until I find the right one. I guess you could say I'm Goldilocks, trying to find the job that is just the right fit. While I feel maybe a little too unseasoned to provide advice to a room full of so much wisdom, my parting words are simple. Life is so short. You can't have it all. You can't have a life without loss. But you can have courage, and you can use that courage to embrace your happy and let the people in your life embrace their happy too. Thank you.